Hi guys and welcome back to my course. In this video, we will learn how to chain multiple promises. So coming back to the get post detail request and get comment request. So these two requests. Let's copy this first URL. So coming down here, let's try creating another promise for that. So const say post details promise. Again, new keyword, the promise class, and this accepts a callback function. It passes two arguments, resolve and reject, to this callback function. And we can have the AJAX call inside this promise body. So let's say $.get. So let's just hard code this for now. Say 1. And this accepts a callback function. And it passes the response data to this function as an argument. So let's try printing it. Let's check the console. So as you can see, first we've got the details response, and then we've got the listing response. So if we hadn't hard coded 1 in the URL, we would have gotten an error. So this piece of code, it doesn't ensure that our post detail call will be sent after the listing call. So to make that happen, we can pass the post detail promise over here. So this then function, it accepts a callback function. So we'll have to convert this into a function. So let's say this. So now this post details promise is an arrow function and returns a new promise. So whenever there's a success, we can simply do resolve and we can send the data. And whenever the call fails, we can call reject, and let's say details call failed. Let's wrap it in backticks. And status, say dollar curly braces and data.status. Now to ensure that this post details promise is executed after the post list promise, we can simply pass it to then of post list promise. So let's save it. Nothing is getting printed. So also, if you remember, I mentioned this then function, it passes the response to the callback function. So this is like this. So we can get the response inside this post details promise function. So let's say data, let's try printing it. Let's save it, let's check it out. So as you can see, that data is getting printed here. So this just means once the data is received, then this promise is getting executed. So you can use the value from the data to send a call to the backend. So this data is a list, and inside that we've got some objects, and inside the object we've got ID. So let's just select the first one for now. So let's say data at 0.id, and as you can see, 1 is printed. Let's try passing this over here. Say dollar. Oh, there's an extra parenthesis. Let's save it. So now this call is dependent on the response from the previous call. So once the data is received, it takes ID from that data. So as you can see, no errors, everything's working fine. So how do you handle the response of this post details promise? We can add another then over here, and the response will be available in this callback. So let's say post details response. Let's save it. And as you can see, the object is available here. And you can also rewrite this as this. And that's all. So that's how you can chain multiple promises to ensure that one operation is triggered only after a certain operation is completed. Let's also talk about the errors. So as you can see, we just have one catch here. So if I make some changes to this URL, let's say this is an invalid URL now. So when I save it, and as you can see, this call is failed, but the next call is not triggered. So if I print here, let's say sending details call, and here let's print sending list call. So as you can see, sending list call is printed. Then we got the error and it did not send the details call. And the error was handled by this catch method. Similarly, let's fix this one. So as you can see, everything's working fine. Sending list call, sending details call, and then we get the response from the details call. So if I make some mistakes over here, so as you can see, it sent the list call, then it tried sending the details call, got an error, and that error is also handled. Although we are getting an undefined, so let's check why. Okay, we don't have access to data over here. We can do error.status. And as you can see, it gives us this error text. So this is the difference between giving a normal text and using the error method. So if I just wrap this, so if I just create a new instance of error here and I pass this just to the method, so we get this proper error object. So that's all. As you can see, we've got some bunch of functions and we're calling them in sequence. So unlike our callback help, the functions aren't nested. Here the code is very clean. And even you won't even have to write this much code later. Most probably you'll be working with some libraries like Axios or Fetch. They itself return promises, so you wouldn't have to create a promise object for your call. So for example, let's say you're working with Axios, so it would be as simple as axios.get, and that's it. This line of code will return a promise. So you can simply do like this. It would be as simple as that. So your code will be even smaller. So I haven't chained this comments call, so I would like you to give that a try. And that's all for today. I hope this gave you a better understanding of how to chain promises. But if you have any doubts or queries, feel free to drop a comment below or reach out to me on Twitter. I'll add my Twitter handle in the description below. See you in the next video. Bye and take care.